It's a time, let's count to 10 and spin the wheel, my fun fact friends. Learn about some awesome creatures. Give us some facts, mate.
Fun Fact Friday.
Hey, I'm Felix, and I like great white sharks. Well, hello there, you fish fondlers and fact fanatics. Welcome to Fun Fact Friday. Lots of F's. Yeah, we like the F's. Today we're learning about the biggest, baddest, most bitey boy in the ocean. That's right, we're talking about the great white shark. You know, the one with the gnarly teeth and the attitude problem? So buckle up, because this one's going to be a shark-tacular ride. Ew. I just gave myself the yick. But first, a disclaimer. I am not responsible if you develop a fear of the open water. Or, you know, just the ocean in general. First off, let's talk about these sharks' impressive credentials. The great white shark, also known as the Carcharodon carcharius, which kind of sounds like a spell you'd conjure up in Harry Potter, but it's actually Latin for big bitey boy. The great white shark is the largest predatory fish in the ocean. This fish is so chunky it can grow up to 8 meters long and weigh 4,000 pounds. That's like your mum, your ex, and your emotional baggage combined. And before you say, but I thought killer whales were the biggest ocean bullies. Meh. Well, sure, killer whales are bigger in some ways, but the great white shark, they're the true man-eater of the ocean. In fact, half of all annual shark attacks are done by this bad boy. Basically, if you go for a cheeky paddle and you don't look both ways, you might become shark charcuterie. Which of course means you'll probably never step foot in the ocean again. You're welcome, humanity! But don't worry, you're actually more likely to get hit by lightning than you are to get chomped by a shark. They sort of just take a nibble, realise that you're full of buns and bad life choices, and then swim off, disappointed. Now, let's talk about their evolutionary history, because oh baby, these boys have been around forever. We're talking 450 million years. That's a good old-fashioned, I've seen everything amount of time. Sharks have survived mass extinctions, global warming, climate change, and that dodgy kebab you had last weekend. Basically, they're the cockroaches of the ocean. I mean, how could they not? They've been around since the Silurian period, which, by the way, was long before your granddad even thought about buying his first car, right? One of the first shark-like creatures was called the Acanthodian, which kind of sounds like a Marvel villain. It looked like a sausage, but with teeth. Sexy. Basically, it looked like a shark's nerdy cousin. Not quite as cool, but still had a spiky look and that cartilaginous skeleton. These fish would probably tell you all the stories about the Silurian period, but they're dead now, so too bad. Over time, sharks got sleeker, faster, and more stabby. Eventually, during the Jurassic period, sharks got flexible jaws. Nature said, you know what this murder machine needs? A dislocating jaw like a horror movie puppet. Thanks, evolution. Nice one. But let's be honest, we all know a good set of flexible jaws is a must in today's dating world. Am I right? Shark species that evolved by the Cretaceous period, about 145 to 65 million years ago, are still around today. This includes the whale shark and the goblin shark. Anyway, fast forward to about 60 million years ago, and we've got the Megalodon. This big mama was the original ocean terror. We're talking about a 60-foot long shark with 7-inch teeth that ate whales like appetizers. That's bigger than your uncle's midlife crisis. The Megalodon was big, the boss of the seas, until it went extinct 3.6 million years ago. Do you want to guess why? Well, some scientists think that the great white was the one to put the final nail in the Megalodon's coffin. Perhaps the great white was just better at hunting. The smaller, sleeker, smugger great white may have out-hunted Big Daddy to its extinction. That's just proof that size doesn't matter. So great whites are basically the high school bullies of the ocean. And they've been doing their thing for millions of years. And you think you're tough? Well, these sharks were around when the first dinosaurs were learning how to roar. And they were like, oh, isn't that cute? Well, I'm going to go off and eat a few sea lions now. See ya. And let's talk about their looks. The great white has that classic torpedo shape. They've got this sleek, cinematic body that could even make your grandma look twice. Their skin is tough, covered in tiny teeth called denticles that help them swim smoothly through the ocean. They're built for speed, especially with those crescent-shaped tail fins, which is good news because when a shark does attack, it's fast. I'm talking blink and you miss it fast. They've also got 300 teeth. 300! That's like a dentist's nightmare. And each one is like 6 centimeters big. And they're not in a tidy row either. These are arranged in conveyor belt like rows, constantly getting replaced. Imagine regenerating your molars every time you bit into a burrito. These sharks primarily hunt seals. So if you've ever thought a seal looked quite smug on his rock, just remember, he's probably one bad day away from being a shark's snack. But hey, we've all got to eat, right? And here's the kicker. Great whites are known for their sneaky attack style. They're like the ninjas of the ocean. Yeah, I'm a shark. First, they'll swim underneath their prey. And next, they yeet themselves out of the ocean and breach. Kind of like an acrobatic seal. Except more terrifying. But great whites aren't picky eaters. They'll also eat dolphins and baby whales. Basically, if it blinks and floats, it's dinner. They don't even rely on their eyesight. They can smell a drop of blood from miles away. They can also sense vibrations. So yes, your fear is detectable. So keep screaming. Great white pups are even cannibalistic. They'll eat each other inside the womb. That's right, a good bit of prenatal murder. Little Timmy didn't even make it to birth because his brother fancied a snack. Such a shame. Nature, you terrifying freak. Great whites have a high maintenance lifestyle. They need a lot of food. A lot. They can consume up to 11 tons of food each year. And after every big meal, they're like, yeah, I'm good for the next 3 months. Don't need to eat. I mean, can you imagine eating 8 tons of food and then just chilling for the next 3 months? Yeah, that could be nice. But are great white sharks really as mean as they seem? Or is there another killer that's waiting in plain sight? Despite their bad PR, great whites are actually endangered. But why? Because there's another animal that kills the great white. What? Yes, humans are once again the worst. Trophy hunting, finning, and accidental net catchings has all led for this majestic sea thug's numbers to take a nosedive. So maybe don't buy that shark tooth necklace, Susan. So in conclusion, the great white shark is majestic, terrifying, super efficient, and quite frankly, a little bit overrated. But let's be real, it's like the world's biggest predatory overachiever. But next time you're paddling in the sea, just remember, the ocean is full of terrifying ancient sea creatures that have a taste for flesh. Thanks for tuning in to Fun Fact Friday, where the facts are fun and the sharks are, well, they're mostly just hungry for seals, I guess. If you like this video, give us a like, you cheeky little scamp, and subscribe. And tune in next week when we learn about a creature that begins with H. I hope you don't H it. Get it? Like H? It kind of sounds the same. It's been a long day. Sorry. See ya.